throw you in the field, though. Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold-out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the... ...24-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! 24-yard line.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. X3. 218 Chopper.
Watch twitch.
Watch it.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. 5. And ready.
2nd and 6. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check safety, check safety. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Go.
Slam. Check 15.
Hard. Let go.
This is Mostert. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
No game on this. 6-6. Pull it high.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
2nd and 4. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him 32 on the play.
You can't block me.
Under 10. 10.
Kill.
Gone.
Watch the shit. Out.
Big grip.
Now Mostert. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Mostert, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Let's go, Beast. We got to step it up. Right there. 50.
He'll look to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Their wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check 13. 8.
They run the counter. Swift. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. 186. Check 56.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Hey! 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Newton on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Flush to his right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Ready. 180.
Hey, watch the slant.
8.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll try the left side. Swift. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Right there. 56. We own it. 8. We own it. 20.
On 3rd down, Swift. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Here we go on 4th. Newton. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets have taken the lead. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Check 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Watch switch. Look at me. Zipper. Hey, Zoo. Let's go.
They'll look to throw here. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Mostert. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Hey, Alpha.
Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Newton. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
20.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off play action, Newton. That's complete to John Ross. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a give right side. Swift. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Brought down back at the 31-yard line.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Now on 2nd and 16. Newton. Open man is Ross, complete. The end result, 21 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Gun. 56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Newton now to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. Wait, watch the run. Check 37. Check 3. 8.
They'll try the left side. Swift. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Hey, box truck.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
Here we go. He's checking. Crash. Ready.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't get rid of the football, trying to buy a little time, but he'll just tuck it and go down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Fielded at the 33. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Great. 56. 20. 56. I get it.
They fake the give. Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Play action. It's Newton. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
56, the mark, boy. 56. Check, 56.
A shotgun snap for Newton. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one good for 26 and a first down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here, watch it. Jim. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Newton on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
20.
Back to throw, Newton. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 81 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Newton. It's caught by OBJ. There he goes, right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey. Defense, our time. It's our time. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
2nd and 11. Looking left side, and it's complete. That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card game, and a first down as well. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Jets' 40-yard line.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On the ready.
Mike by 4. Okay, double.
Snap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 50 to go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline is complete. But he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Spine. No.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Go.
Mike by 4.
Recon, 132 fighter. 26. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through. And that'll make this a 6-point game.
Makes the score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Gun.
Out of the gun, Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
20.
On first down, it's Newton. And this one's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Right here. Ringo. Gun.
To throw again, Newton. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Ready. 54. Not today, Mark. Not today.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
At the 37-yard line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 20. Will take over at the 24-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. On to tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. As the Ravens push further out in front. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'm going back to you. Slam.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And I know it's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs because there's all that build-up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt because when you work that hard to get this far, it hurts just a little bit more. No matter when your season ends, it's a downer. But in this case, even more so because you had your eyes on the big prize, which was the Lombardi Trophy.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The